Hi, my name is Newell Davis with World Composting, and it has been 7 days since I last fed the bins where I grind up the food in one and I don't grind them up in the other. So we added asparagus last time. I left it a little bit longer by a day because there was a little bit extra food, but I thought we should take a look and see how they're doing, see if the asparagus is gone, sort of like the banana peels, or see if it's still there. Now, if it is gone, I also wanted to show you that this is not just a random happenstance that this happened this way. So I actually do have a pound of bananas almost ready to go into the ground bin that's not ground up. And that way you can see when we update again that they're still there and that ground food just goes that much more quickly. So let's take a look at the bins and see how they're doing and see if we're ready to add some more food to either of them. All right, here we go. So we have our bins here. We've got the ground bin over here and the full bin over here. Let's take a look at this full bin first. So the label, by the way, again, I have it in the front here. I think we added food in the front. Unhook this from this side here. So quite a bit of moisture in here. Looks like a little bit of mold maybe. Overall, looks pretty good. There are some worms on the sides. I see one over here. There's actually a couple over here. I'm not seeing any on this side here at all. Let's just kind of dig in. I also see a little bit of mold over here in this corner. Let's just take a look here and see what's going on. So it looks like, oh, we still have the asparagus down in here. Not many worms in the area either, although this is kind of mushy. But I'm not seeing any worms over here, so they're definitely not going towards that. Let's just see how these banana peels are doing. Oh, lots of worms over here this time. So now you can see they're starting to break down. Let me just put my hand underneath here, get this a little closer to you. You can see that they're starting to break down the banana peels, and they're really flocking towards it now. So all of the worms are over here in this corner ready to eat this stuff, and there's a ton of them in here now. See, you can see there's just a lot of worms because these have finally broken down enough where they can go and consume them. So it took an extra, couple days to get them to really go, I guess, because they weren't a whole lot there the first time we went in. So, but moisture content still looks good in here. I'm going to just make sure this is buried still. But they're not moving towards the asparagus at all, meaning we now have all this asparagus that's in here. So if you're running a bin this way, you're going to have issues because the food just does not go as quickly if you want to run a small bin. That's why a lot of times I recommend you do chop things up if you want to run a small bin for your family, because things just go a lot faster. Now, the question is, I'm going to put this lid back on. I'm not going to add any food to this because there's still a lot of food in there, and I don't want to overfeed them and start having issues with the bin simply because we can. But that shows you how slow it can go. It's been, 13 days total, and there's still food left in here from both piles. And one of them is not even being touched, and the other one is full of worms. Now, let's go to the ground bin and take a look. So again, labels in the front. So the asparagus should be over here, and banana peel that was there is over here. And whoa, okay. There are worms all over the top of this bin, and it looks pretty dry in here compared to the other one. The moisture content should have been pretty similar, but there are worms all over the top, especially in this corner right over here. You can see there's a whole bunch of worms in that corner. They're all over the sides. They're actually, is there any falling out? No, we have one in here. Let me grab this one out of here. He's fell in here. Ooh, if you'll let me grab him. There we go. So there's one that fell in there, so I'm going to put him back in there. Just kind of knock all these guys back in. So this bin's doing really well, it looks like, but it's just, I wonder if it's too dry for them. So I might have to add a little bit of moisture, which I didn't need to do on the other bin. It was pretty wet. But then again, it still has a lot of food in it. So with the food going more quickly, I'm wondering if it's drying out a little faster. And I never thought that would happen. But that could be the case, because both of these were moistened with the same, I took them from the same bucket, so there's no difference between the coconut coir and the amount of food. It was the same amount of food. So first off, banana area, still loaded with worms. Look at this. Just absolutely loaded. No odor at all, by the way, to either of these bins as far as I can tell. I'm not seeing any. I'm trying to be a little bit slow here. I'm trying to look for cocoons. I'm not seeing any cocoons. Which could be one person, Emily the crazy worm lady, when she looked at the video, she said, did you add any grit or eggshells? And I'm wondering if that's affecting cocoon production. So let's just take a look here in this asparagus section. Oh, see, they're not touching the asparagus either. Let me just tilt this up right here. So maybe you can get a better view here. Hold on, I'm going to move the camera here if I can. So you can see right in here, there's asparagus. It hasn't really been touched at all. I don't see any worms in the area at all, really. There's nothing in there at all. So a ground up asparagus isn't a good thing that the worms would like compared to this banana that was over here, and they're willing to just keep digging through here, I think, and reprocessing the same material to get that banana. So I think I will add a little bit of water to this one because it does feel a little drier than the other. But other than that, I mean, you can see the difference here. I mean, there are some worms over here on this side. You can see the difference though. I mean, like, this has been processed. Let's just dig this side up actually. I mean, like, there's no banana here really. I mean, there's nothing here. I mean, there's tons of worms. They're going after the coconut coir that's here, but there's no banana. There's absolutely none. So they're just reprocessing that same material over and over again because of what was there, but they're not even touching this stuff over here, which I just dug up too much. So they're not even really touching this stuff. So we're going to leave that in there, but we are going to try, just to show you that this is not some random happenstance. And this did, I forgot to zoom back out here. Here we go. We're zoomed in on this bin a little bit still. It's not just a random happenstance that this one actually worked better. Brother, there's a huge worm ball right here. Let me just show you here. Look at this. Those are all over the side there. So what we're going to do here is on this side right over here. So this feels a little dry. I'm going to add about 1 pound of frozen banana peels here that are not, they're just frozen, they're not broken down. We're going to add them in here, we're going to jam them in, kind of crush them. You can see that they're still frozen. There's actually cold coming off of them still. And we're just going to bury them in here. All right, and in a week these will still be here, just as the banana peels over there are. So that's one of the advantages of chopping up your food, is that this stuff just goes a lot quicker. So we're going to let this go. I think I might try to add a little bit of water, but also I'm worried about shutting this with all these worms up here. I mean, look at this. They're all over the lid here. If I just take my finger here, just to give you an idea, I mean, there's a whole bunch that are in here. I hate to crush them when I close it. So I'm just going to try to get some of these worms out of here. But this just shows you that, I don't know if it's moisture content or what, but there's a lot of worms that kind of crawling out of here. I don't know, maybe there's also lack of food because of the fact that they almost finished off all that banana and there's too many of them in here for the rest of it. Although they didn't touch the asparagus. So, much like kids, they do like their sweet food first. So there you go. I mean, they could tell. I mean, there's a lot of worms over here that were on the sides, inside here. So, just get a few more out here. So as you can see on here, there's a ton of worms that were on the sides that were trying to hide out a little bit. And there's still more on the top and sides over here. So I think I'm going to leave it. I don't think I'm going to add water for now since I added the banana peel. It's already crawling back down over to here, so let me put them back up on top. We're going to shut this bin, and that's going to be our update for this week. I'll come back in one more week. We'll see how it looks. And I think this is really the conclusion of this experiment. Grinding up your food is better, but it doesn't seem to do much, nearly as much if they don't like the food that you have in there. So there's our update for this week. I hope you enjoyed. Please like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.